Lebanon is once again at the heart of a violent confrontation, as Israeli airstrikes intensify against Hezbollah strongholds. What started as localized skirmishes is now rapidly escalating into one of the deadliest periods in the region since the 2006 Lebanon War. But how did we get here? And what is the driving force behind this conflict? To understand the current situation, we need to go back to the long-standing hostilities between Hezbollah, the Iran-backed militant group, and Israel. Over the years, Hezbollah has grown into a significant military and political force in Lebanon, often acting as a proxy for Iran's interests in the region. In recent months, tensions have flared once more, spurred by the wider conflict that began in Gaza in 2023. Hezbollah increased its involvement, launching rocket attacks into Israel in support of Hamas, which further drew Israeli retaliation. Hezbollah's influence stretches beyond Lebanon's borders, forming part of a Tehran-led alliance alongside Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. This alliance opposes Israel and U.S. influence in the region. Since October 2023, Hezbollah has ramped up cross-border attacks on Israeli territory, drawing a strong military response. As Hezbollah's aggression increased, so did Israel's airstrikes, targeting Hezbollah's infrastructure, weapon depots, and leadership. The situation took a dramatic turn in mid-2024 when Israel began what it calls a targeted elimination campaign, focusing on high-ranking Hezbollah commanders. These strikes have destroyed Hezbollah missile bases, military installations, and munitions, many of which were hidden in civilian areas. Israel's defense forces argue that Hezbollah deliberately uses civilians as human shields, which has led to widespread destruction in residential areas. Lebanon is now facing one of its most challenging moments. Israeli airstrikes have resulted in hundreds of casualties, including women and children. Schools, hospitals, and entire neighborhoods have been hit, as Hezbollah's military infrastructure is embedded within civilian zones. On the other side, Hezbollah continues launching retaliatory rocket barrages into Israel, escalating the conflict further. Both sides are locked in a cycle of attack and retaliation, with no signs of stopping. Israel's military strategy in Lebanon has evolved, shifting from broad airstrikes to highly targeted operations aimed at Hezbollah's top leadership. The goal is to dismantle Hezbollah's command and operational capabilities, weakening their influence and control over southern Lebanon. Israeli intelligence has played a crucial role in locating Hezbollah leaders, using advanced surveillance technology to track their movements. Among the top figures eliminated in recent weeks are senior military commanders responsible for Hezbollah's missile programs and tactical operations in the region. These commanders oversee the storage and deployment of long-range rockets capable of hitting deep into Israeli territory. However, these operations are not without controversy. Hezbollah's command centers are often embedded in civilian areas, which has led to significant collateral damage. Entire neighborhoods have been destroyed, leading to hundreds of civilian casualties. Despite the destruction, Hezbollah remains defiant, continuing to launch rocket attacks into northern Israel and vowing retaliation for the loss of its leaders. In response to these targeted eliminations, Hezbollah has intensified its rocket attacks, focusing on Israeli military bases and civilian areas. These retaliatory strikes have kept tensions high, with both sides locked in a deadly exchange. Despite the losses, Hezbollah is attempting to rally its forces, though the absence of key commanders has left a noticeable void in their strategic planning. The elimination of Hezbollah commanders has shifted the dynamics of the conflict, raising the stakes for both sides. Israel's strategy of decapitating Hezbollah's leadership may weaken their immediate threat, but it also risks pushing Lebanon further into chaos. And this is not just a local issue. It has far-reaching consequences for Lebanon, the broader Middle East, and even international powers. Lebanon has been pushed to the brink of collapse. Even before this recent escalation, the country was grappling with political and economic crises. Now, with thousands of people displaced, critical infrastructure destroyed, and a weakened Hezbollah leadership, Lebanon is facing its darkest hour in decades. Over 100,000 people have been displaced, and many more are struggling with limited access to food, water, and medical care. Lebanon's already fragile healthcare system is overwhelmed, with hospitals running out of supplies. With key commanders eliminated and its infrastructure heavily damaged, Hezbollah's future remains uncertain. The militant group has vowed to rebuild, but its influence in Lebanon is under pressure. Politically, Lebanon remains fragmented, and the government's ability to manage the fallout of this conflict is highly questionable. Hezbollah's loss of leadership raises concerns about a power vacuum, which could lead to either internal strife or increased influence from external actors like Iran or Syria. Many nations are now calling for immediate ceasefires and diplomatic solutions to prevent the situation from spiraling further. The United Nations and other humanitarian agencies have called for urgent aid to Lebanon, but without a political solution, the conflict may continue to drag on, further destabilizing the region. The next few months will be crucial in determining whether the country can recover or if it will sink deeper into chaos. Like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.